Hi, my name is Zelda, and I'm so happy to be with you today to share one of my go-to background techniques. Let's get started. So here are two samples that I've made using this technique that I'm about to show you. You can see they're really different, but there are so many variations that can be done with this technique, which is why I think it's fabulous. Also, what I've used is our heart die, and you will see here I've used it without the background, and here I embossed just the background, and then I popped it back into the die cut. So once again, exactly the same products, but two very different looks. So the first thing you want to do is grab your scoreboard. I've trimmed this piece of paper to 4 inches and left it at 5.5. As you will see on the samples, I have scored here at 1/2 inch horizontally, and this one was much wider. I think that was a 2-inch gap between our score lines. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do vertical lines 1 inch apart, just so that you can see this can be done differently each time. Let's give it some nice deep score lines at 1 inch. 2 inches, and I usually do it more than once just to give a nice solid score line. Okay, so there we go. Now next we're going to grab our oxide ink and run it across to create that beautiful background. So for this technique today, I've got my Pumice Stone Distress Oxide ink, which I've also used there, and here I think I used weathered wood. But once again, you can use the colors that you like, you can mix them up. And you don't necessarily need to use distress oxides. I like distress inks and I like distress oxide for this technique, but go and try out what you have and see what works. So let's grab our ink pad, and then really you just run it across the paper and swipe it, and you can be as light-handed or as heavy-handed as you like. This is your creation. You do what you are comfortable with. So I think I quite like that. I think we are good to go. What can be easier than that, right? So I've cut my red cardstock to 4.25 by 5.5, the same size as my base, the base of my card, and I'm just going to glue that down. I like the contrast between the wood grain and the red. I like to have contrasting colors, which is why I've chosen this. Let's give a bit of okay, now let's line that up. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece down. And you could actually give it a bit of dimension by adding some foam tape on the back if you wanted it to have that extra dimension. But this time I'm just going to glue it down flat. So I've got that little border on each side just to make it pop. Next up, I'm going to be cutting my heart out of the same red cardstock. Let me just grab my die. And this is from our new exclusive set, our heart die. So I've got my heart die and my red cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the little banner at the same time. So I only have to run my machine once. So let's get this ready. Perfect. Love it. Now that I've done my die cutting, it's time to assemble my card. As you can see, I've swiped the ink across my little banner just so I can be consistent with my colors. So I'm going to quickly stamp that so that it can dry whilst I assemble the rest. My sentiment is from the All Heart stamp set. I just love this, love you like a sister, because let's face it, we love our sisters. I don't have one, but my friends are like my sisters. So, and there we go. So I'm going to set that off to the side to dry while I adhere this to my card. Okay, and using our smart glue, I'm just going to put a few drops on the back. So I'm just going to put my heart on my card front. So I've put some foam tape on the back of my little banner just to give a bit of dimension. And I'm going to place this over. There we go. And just to end off and give it a little bit of extra detail, I'm going to place some Nouveau drops. I like to test it beforehand. Okay. Just 3 little drops. Gives it that little bit of extra something. And there we have it, a quick and easy card using the wood grain background technique. I hope you enjoyed it and will give it a try. For links to all the products used in this video, please click on the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss on any new videos.